Okay, this is Michael Pepper for MMABay and MMABay Radio with UFC heavyweight prospect Brendan Schaub. Thanks for joining us, Brendan.
Yeah, no problem, anytime.
So you were last in action, UFC 128, defeating the legendary Mirko Cro Cop via TKO in the third round. What were your thoughts on how the fight went for you that night, and do you think you lived up to your potential on the night?
I think that's the best Cro Cop we've seen in the UFC, and that's what I expected. He was tough, man. It is a tough fight for me, but it was good for me to go in there against a vet and a legend like Mirko and go almost all the 3 rounds and really win all the rounds and, kind of switch it up. I got to showcase some of my wrestling, striking, and everything. So for me, it was a huge step in the right direction and being a tough guy in Mirko Cro Cop.
Okay, many weren't expecting Cro Cop to try and outmuscle you and push you up against the fence. They were expecting that he'd probably try and separate and strike with you, rather. Were you a little bit surprised by these tactics, and did it throw you off at all during the fight?
A little bit, just because he would close the distance. He was trying to get inside, and he didn't get, or he did well at getting inside and pinning me against the cage, but I was getting out, and I thought I'd have the advantage there, and there wasn't a lot of damage being done by either guy. So my way of kind of switching things up is when he decided to come at me and try to get inside, I was going to take him down. So every time he charged at me, the takedown was wide open, and for me, it was a huge honor because it was the most takedowns ever against Mirko Cro Cop in any one of his fights. So, it was a big deal for me. So, Mirko was probably the strongest guy I've ever fought.
Okay, he seemed to catch you on the end of the nose with one of those elbows that he threw up against the cage. How much did that throw you off during the fight? Did that affect your performance as the fight went on?
The elbow to the nose definitely broke it. As a matter of fact, I just had surgery yesterday, so I'm at home today just chilling. He definitely fractured my nose, so I couldn't breathe out of it. But that's a little adversity in the fight. But the big deal was when he threw that illegal up kick and it hit me in my eye, and that was another reason there's so many takedowns and why I wasn't trying to strike as much, because I couldn't see out of my eye for about 2 to 3 minutes, and then I got hit in the nose, so it was a bad combo for me.
Okay, you also picked up Knockout of the Night award for the win. I'm sure that was a belated birthday present.
Yeah.
Have you got any plans for a new car or something for the house, or will you be investing that in your career some way?
No, that money's already gone, man. I went to the strip club there that night. No, I'm just kidding. I save it, man, and I just put it away and save it for down the road.
Okay, I've read a recent interview that you did where you were talking about maybe fighting a number of top names, from former champions like Brock Lesnar and Frank Mir to the Brazilian duo of Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira and Junior Dos Santos. If you had to pick any of those to fight in, say, 5 to 6 months' time, who would it be and why?
Well, those out of all those names, most of the guys have fights. Frank Mir has a fight. Brock Lesnar Jr. has a fight. So the easiest one there, or the easiest one for me to pick from, which not the easiest matchup, but the only guy without a fight is Big Nog in Brazil in August. So that'd definitely be hostile territory, but 3 legends in a row makes sense to me. So I could definitely see myself being out there in August against Big Nog.
Okay, you were talking about it was a massive honor to fight Mirko Cro Cop in your last fight. Would it be an even bigger honor to fight Nogueira, especially in Rio?
I don't know if it'd be a different kind of honor. I'm a huge fan of Big Nog, but Cro Cop was seriously my idol growing up, and he's definitely a huge reason why I got started in the sport. So Cro Cop kind of takes the feather on that one, but fighting Big Nog in Brazil is right up there.
Okay, another name that keeps cropping up as a potential opponent is Roy Nelson, the only man to defeat you so far in your career. Is that a fight that interests you? How important is it to you to avenge that defeat in terms of your career? And why can we expect to see a different result the second time around?
Roy is as tough as they come, and he has a huge challenger in front of him in Frank Mir in the end of May. So, if he was to win that, it makes sense for him to match us up. In regards to, is there a revenge thing? Not at all for me. If I fight Roy again, great. If not, really it's not something I'm too concerned about. I definitely think the outcome would be different. I got a little more experience under my belt now. I only had 4 fights when I did fight Roy, so it's definitely it's not something I think about. But if that gets me close to the title, if that's what Dana White wants, then I'll do it.
Okay, your close friend and training partner Shane Carwin was in the news last week after one of his UFC 116 sponsors accused him of throwing the fight against Brock Lesnar. Knowing knowing Shane how you do, what's your take on the situation, and just how ludicrous is that accusation?
What sponsor is this?
That he's not come out who it is. Shane wouldn't say, and his management wouldn't say.
For the fight. First of all, I've known Shane for about 7 years. He's like a brother to me. That guy is the most competitive guy you will ever meet. Money is not an issue for him, so he would never throw a fight. That's literally the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. The sponsor who is claiming this should be banned from mixed martial arts. That's ridiculous.
Okay, another contentious issue surrounding a couple of your training partners is the one concerning current light heavyweight champion John Jones and Rashad Evans. Do you think this flare-up was always likely to happen when a bunch of top athletes train together? And do you think cooler heads will prevail following their fight later on this year?
I'm sorry, what was the question, brother? Sorry.
Another contentious issue surrounds a couple of your other training partners, current light heavyweight champion John Jones and Rashad Evans.
Yeah.
Do you think this flare-up was always likely to happen when top athletes train together, especially in the same weight divisions? And do you think eventually cooler heads will prevail and the two will sort of calm down and get back together?
In John Jones and Rashad, yeah, that's a tricky situation because, Rashad was kind of one of the first guys to come down to Jackson and start doing things down there and bringing all the training partners. And I think it was Nate Jardine, him, and Joey Villasenor who kind of got things rolling up there. So, I think it's definitely a lot tougher on Rashad. John Jones seems to be this new, young, hot, I wouldn't call him prospect, prodigy almost, now that he's the champ. So, I just think it's awkward, man, and a lot of people are jumping on John's bandwagon, but those guys aren't best of friends. They have trained together, but Rashad lives in Chicago, he spends most of his camp in Denver. John lives in New York, so it's most of his camp in Albuquerque. So it's not like they're best friends. It's not like Shane and I. So those guys I think should fight each other, and afterwards, if they're friends, great. If not, I don't think it's any sweat off their back.
Okay, regardless of the whole teammate versus teammate debate, obviously you've just said you train with Shane Carwin. Where do you see yourself in 2 years' time?
2 years. Man, 2 years' time, I definitely see me either the UFC heavyweight champ or at least fighting for a title.
Okay. Have you got any sponsors or anybody else you'd like to mention before we finish?
Just Five Star Clothing. A big sponsor of mine. I appreciate everything they do.
Okay, fantastic. Thanks for the interview tonight, Brendan.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime, man.
This has been Michael Pepper for MMABay.co.uk and MMA Bay Radio with UFC heavyweight Brendan Schaub.